I'm Paul Hackbarth, and I'm here today in the Heartland Military Museum in Iowa Falls, Iowa. It's August 26, 2026. And I'd like to talk to you just briefly today about the current fundraising project we are having called Keep Our History Here. Recently, the Historical Society, which has been leasing this building, has purchased it. And our goal is to raise $100,000 by our closing date, which is in early October this year, and we're well on the way. But if you'd like to participate, I'm going to tell you a little bit how you can do that, and I will show you a little bit of the inside part of the museum here today. The museum was originally the dream of local Iowa Falls man Chuck Taylor, and many of the artifacts here are from his private collection, which he has established his entire life. So he got us started, and since that time we've had many donations of artifacts from around the community. Iowa Falls has a very rich military history, and we're kind of proud of the fact that not only do we have the artifacts, but we have a lot of the provenance or stories behind them. The Heartland Museum is very well equipped. We have, in addition to our large collection of artifacts, we have internet access, and we have a research library. The purpose of the museum is kind of twofold. First of all, we're not insinuating that everybody run down to your local recruiter and sign up and enlist today. Although some people do see the museum as a recruiting tool. The primary objectives of the museum are, number one, we would like to honor all the local people in Iowa Falls that have served in the military in some capacity, whether they enlisted or were drafted or served as a nurse or did perform valuable service here on the home front. So we want to honor all those people. Secondly, we want the museum to be an educational tool. So when we have situations come up where our country is involved in military disputes, you have a place to do research, to learn about the situation in the past and in the present, so you can make up your own mind and know what to write to your congressman or military leaders or the president, perhaps. So you can decide for yourself and give them your informed opinion on what you think should happen. So I'm going to give you a little brief tour of the museum now. And just before we go here, let me show you the little donation form that you can use to donate. You can donate with this form, or you can donate directly on our website, iowafallshistoricalsociety.com. And if you'd like to do things that way, you can donate with your credit card. Donations can be a one-time donation, or they can be split in up to 4 annual installments. So for example, let's say you would like to donate $80. You can donate $80, and you only have to commit yourself to donating $20 each year by December 31st of each year for the next 4 years. So you can make a nice little donation of $80 and only pay $20 a year, and so it's kind of insignificant. You probably won't even notice that you donated it. So that is how you can donate. So at this time, let's get our phone out here and let's take a little tour of the museum. here we are outside the Heartland Museum. So, as you notice, they have ever-changing window displays out front on the museum. The hours of the museum currently are Saturdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. or Sunday to Friday by appointment. And of course, you can call Dave Gerbich, Celine Anderson, Pat Mills, or Rebecca Wood. They are all knowledgeable curators or officials of the Historical Society, and they can give you a very nice, well-informed tour. As you can see, there is the fundraiser that's currently going on. They're trying to raise $100,000 by the closing in October, and you can see they are over half the way there. They're up to $60,000. And I should mention that the Historical Society has already committed $30,000 to this fund drive right off the top, and the Historical Society will make up the difference. So the museum will be purchased, and but the fund drive is extremely helpful, and it's going on right now. You can donate with the form or on the website iowafallshistoricalsociety.com. So let's go inside. Take a quick look around here. The museum is very well lit. We've got plenty of lighting in here that I don't even have turned on yet. As you'll notice, the museum has internet, so we can get the Voices of Iowa Falls channel, and we can get many veterans interviews. For example, there's an interview with Joe Gomer right there, and many other things for military research. Coming in here, we have a timeline of Iowa Falls history for the last 100 years, which is in two parts. Here it is after 1950. And that lets you know what was going on local here at the time that the wars were going on. Here is one of our most cherished possessions. This is the Clarence and Edna Townsend correspondence from World War II. Clarence Townsend was killed in World War II, and he was originally listed as missing in action. And we have the complete correspondence between Clarence and Edna, his wife, from the time just prior to when he was listed as missing in action until arrangements were being made to bring his body home and rebury it in the United States in Waterloo. On the north wall, and we have the Tom Birchfield mural that was done for the museum opening. Very beautiful mural. We also have ever-changing displays. Currently, we have a display on World War II era newspapers. And oh gosh, some of them even go back before that. This was assembled by local Iowa Falls Historical Society President Dave Gerbich from a lending to us of newspapers from that time period. And a nice little article as well by Dave about the press and war. So there's always something changing in the museum. regular displays right now, we start off with the War of 1812, which is the earliest war that Iowa Falls citizens were involved in. We go to the Civil War with a display of Civil War veterans. An interesting stereoscopic collection of photographs. We then have World War I, a lot of interesting artifacts. And autograph pictures, many from the Chuck Taylor collection. Then we have the World War II collection and a lot of first-hand accounts of people. We had a local man, Joe Gomer, who was a Tuskegee Airman. The Lyle Campbell account of his time on the USS Ticonderoga. And World War II artifacts, particularly featuring the Wayne Ziegler collection. His uniform, artifacts, and first-hand accounts of his experiences. On the back wall, we have a photograph and art collection of World War II assembled by the Taylors and beautifully curated by the ladies here at the Heartland Museum. We have a signed picture from World War II. And we have another autograph picture of the Enola Gay, the plane that went on the atomic bomb mission in Japan. And we have the autographs of the pilot, the bombardier, and the navigator that Chuck Taylor collected personally. And of course we have more artifacts from the World War II era. The book written by Chuck Taylor. Chuck with his quilt of valor. That's Chuck Jr. and Sr. there. Veterans that were killed from Iowa Falls and who were killed in World War II. Polly Paulson Gleyer's World War II badge collection. Five Sullivan brothers. The Holocaust Museum, curated by Dave Gervich. Just a beautiful display, although some of the pictures are anything but beautiful. Always remember, never forget. Of course, we have a modern restroom. We have a private screening room with a small television and a large collection of CDs and DVDs. More photographic memorabilia of World War II featuring the Glenn Johnson story. We have a large screen TV in the back of the museum, which would work good as a little mini movie theater for screening war pictures. We have the Pat Mills account of Vietnam and his days there, where he did 2 tours of duty. Wonderfully curated chronologically. That's the Pat Mills story. We have a Korean War display, including the Byron Clark uniform, and it was opened on the day we opened the museum. Korean War uniform worn by Sergeant Harry Carson of Ackley. More artifacts of the Vietnam War. Then we move on to the Gulf War. Randy George, graduate of Alden High School. Jamie Jenke, the first female from Iowa to make the supreme sacrifice in the Iraq War in 2006. Always remember, never forget. More military uniforms. The Marine uniform of John Nisley. The uniform worn by Kevin Hoffman in the Iraq War. And kids are welcome to come in and try it on. Here we have a complete history of the wars that Iowa Falls has been involved in. Iowa Falls has been involved in. Actually, the whole United States has been involved in it. But we have a complete listing of over 100 conflicts, starting with the Revolutionary War. And I think there's something like 108 military conflicts. And sadly, we're probably not done yet. We have a history of the Bill Riley family in Iowa Falls, because his grandfather, P.J. O'Neill, was a veteran of the Civil War. And we go on here with sections devoted to, here's one on Bert Brown. And the different veterans that served. Jessica Myeran, an account of her time in the service. We have a basement, which I won't go down right now, but we have a large storage area. And everything is climate controlled, which helps to preserve the uniforms. And except in just a few rare cases, we don't allow people to handle the uniforms because we want to protect the material of the uniforms. But that's just a quick look at the museum. Let's go to the back here. We have a section with Japanese and German World War II artifacts. Now, why do we have these in the back of the museum? Well, they are interesting artifacts, but they are not necessarily in keeping with our mission of honoring local veterans. They're more for the serious researcher. Artifacts from World War II, from the German and Japanese. And in keeping with our mission for research, we have a sizable military library. If you don't know it and you can't find it at home, you can probably find it here, particularly if it relates to World War II. I have no doubt that World War II will not be forgotten because it's well documented. As we make our way back up front, let's look at a few things that are featured in the very center of the museum. We honor the service of the Women Air Force Service Pilots, the WASPs, the WACs and the WAVES, and all the women who served in the military in some capacity. And this is the Polly Paulson Glyer collection. She was a nurse and also entertained the troops. So she was kind of like a Dolly Parton for the troops before there was a Dolly Parton. Picture of Polly Paulson Glyer. And let's finish off here. We have a Civil War era drum that was put on loan to us. It was found locally, along with some other artifacts from the Civil War. So there you have it. That's a quick tour of the Heartland Military Museum here in Iowa Falls. And once again, if you'd like to be a participant in the Keeping Our History Here fund drive, all donations are cheerfully accepted, from $1 to whatever you could afford to give. And donations can be made in one-time donation or can be divided up into 4 installments. So you can make a fairly sizable donation without having to burden yourself too much to help honor the men and women who have served in the military from Iowa Falls. And you can also donate online at iowafallshistoricalsociety.com if you'd like to do business with a credit card. So, thank you and thanks for watching.